All right, we're back at it. Another amazing wine for you today. Notice we're dressed in our winter clothes. It got down to 50. So when it gets down to 50, we put on all of our super wintry things. Our beanies we wear once a year when we pretend that we're cold, and our vests that we wear when we pretend that we're cold. And we're not really cold, but we bought them and paid for them, so we have to wear them in the videos. So look at me, I'm cold. This wine will warm me up. Thank you. Castello di Meleto, Chianti Classico 2021. Gang, they're almost gone. These 2021 Chianti Classico wines, one of the greatest vintages everywhere, anytime for the Sangiovese, and they are going bye-bye. The window is closing, and we only have a couple more opportunities before we drift into the tasty and quite good, but generally not as profound 2022s. This is a big moment. So basically today, we're showing off another 2021 that is somehow still around. This is amazing. This wine's still around. And when we got news from the supplier that they had more, I was like, damn, because we've been moving with this wine for a little bit, but I never really felt there was enough to work with, and now there is, and I am completely jacked up for this wine. So Meleto, they're located in the commune of Gaiole, at very high elevation, one of the higher elevation properties out there in Chianti Classico, and when you have high elevation, sorry, I'm froggy. Much better. When you have high elevation, you have what? We talked about this. Brighter definition of flavor, cooler nights, bigger diurnal temperature shifts. You have a situation where the wines have incredible balance and longevity because of this fresh acidity and this wonderful structure that Gaiole, the area, imparts. Now, Meleto is a big property. These guys have been at it since the 1200s. So we're coming up on let's call it 1,000 years, right? Let's round up and call it 1,000 years. And it's this huge property that all of it is done sustainably and organically, including like all the forest, everything, right? So I think they have, I don't know what it is, like 100 hectares of vineyards, and then the rest is like forest and all this kind of deal. The point is, it is this singular unit that makes its presence felt in the wine. When you have this much property, you're not really surrounded by a bunch of folks. You're almost like your own microclimate, right? You're your own terroir. And a lot of folks in Montalcino can't say that because everyone's just like, butted right up next to each other. Folks in Burgundy definitely can't say that, right? Your neighbor's shit is your shit, right? In this case, these guys, they really are on their own. Like there's really nobody around them to influence them. Accordingly, the Meleto wines are truest interpretations of a terroir. And back some time ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, the winery decided to go away with French oak barrels. They decided to get away from international varieties. They made the commitment to say, hey, we're only using Sangiovese and maybe a couple other indigenous varieties. We're only using big barrels now. We're going down this path to really convey this terroir. And what do you get? You get a classic 2021 from this neck of the woods. This is not Castel Nuovo Beredenga like in the far south where the wines are a little more broadly shouldered, more ample. We'll talk about Castel Nuovo Beredenga in a couple weeks. We got another one coming down the pike for you, which is different than this critter, but equally delicious. Now here we get that high-tone sour cherry, that perfume, but still really good color because of the vintage. That fresh vintage really sets the color of Sangiovese. And the wine's bright and urgent, but also seamless, right? So you have very good acidity, but you also have high quality of tannin, which makes this wine like thirst slaking. Wow, that's thirst slaking. That's pulled out. But it really does. This wine like appeases. You know what I mean? Like that combination of fine tannin and bright acidity with all that wonderful bright red cherry fruit. This wine just, it makes you feel good. You're like, yes, I'd like another glass of that. So appealing. And of course, with the food, duh, right? That's what Sangiovese is supposed to do. It's with your meats and your tomatoes and all those fun things, all those pastas, etc. It just pops. And it does. This wine is built to facilitate that. Maybe cacio e pepe. I love it, a cacio e pepe. I'm not culturally appropriating right now, am I? Right? Speaking a fake Italian accent. Sorry, we digress. $18. Man, that's a lot of wine for $18. 93 points Spectator. Again, look it up. Be aware. Spectator does not hand out that kind of score every day to wines in this price point. As a matter of fact, in the piece, it'll probably come down to maybe 2 or 3 wines out of the hundreds of Chiantis they taste that have this kind of price score ratio to them. And I can see it. These guys taste blind. This wine is blinkers. It is absolutely bulletproof. And again, it's not about bigness. It's about the seamless balance, integrity, and harmony of Sangiovese in the great 2021 vintage in Chianti Classico. Do not wait. If you're going to drink Chianti Classico sometime again in the next 5 years of your life, buy these 2021s. They are triple super duper Meleto, $18. Go get some.